So this week I'm out reviewing and road testing the latest Ford Kuga. Now if you're from America, the good old US of A, the United States, then you will not know this car as a Kuga. A Kuga means something completely different in America. In America, this car is known as the Ford Escape. However, cross-continental divides and European differentiations and things like that stand alone because this car was originally designed for a European market. It was launched back in 2008, so it's been around a while, and it's done very well indeed. In actual fact, this is now the fourth generation. This car is available as an all-petrol car, or you can have a self-charging hybrid, or you can even have, like the car that we're driving this week, the PHEV or plug-in hybrid electric version vehicle, that's what it means. So the choice is yours at the end of the day, and it's going to depend on what you're really looking to use this car for. Let's get around it, let's have a look at it, let's give it a road test, and let's give you our opinion of the latest Ford Kuga. You're watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. If you've seen us before, then you don't need to watch the next bit. If you haven't watched the next bit, it's only a minute and a half. It's our little promo trailer. And like I said, if you have and you're a regular subscriber to the channel, guys, you know what to do. Skip to the next bit. This is how a car should sound. Listen to this.
I didn't really push it either. I was just having a bit of fun.
Oh, really? Wheel spin?
Outside. Cool. So there you have it, guys. The Ferrari Roma. My birthday present. Go. We're going to meet the crew and hopefully get the tank. Nice, a real one.
I think it makes a good word.
Alright, we'll go.
Nice to start.
Nice to see you.
Show us your big chopper, your helicopter. So here we are, the Morgan Roadster, where we're here for the Swiss Watch Show. Guys, guess what? It's another morning here out in sunny France. Ford Kugas come in 4 different trim levels. Your entry level car is known as the Titanium. It's going to set you back from £32,000. Top of the range cars are the ST Line X's, and they're going to start at around £39,700. At the end of the day, there's a lot of derivatives in between that. The PHEV, the self-charging hybrid, and you've got that standard petrol car as well. It's all going to depend which one you go for as to your final price. When it comes to colours, there are 6 different colours to choose from. If you like white, it's included in the price, no matter what trim level you go for. So you better like white, because any of the other 5 colour choices, including this green, will set you back an extra £800. Right, let's check out under the bonnet of the Ford Kuga as to the different engine and gearbox configurations. First up, we need to get under the bonnet. Now, Ford have done a nice thing here. They've given this a double pull latch here that's in the passenger footwell. So give it a double pull. Now, the reason I like double pulls is so simple. So if you don't have a double pull, you've got a single one, you then end up with a latch under here, and you're trying to feel around where it is and you can't find it, and it's pouring with rain or you're getting dirty hands. With a double pull, there is no latch, guys. It's lovely. However, Ford, you're penny pinching. Put a couple of gas struts on it. Would have been nicer. It's not that heavy. It really isn't that heavy a bonnet, but it would have just made it feel that little bit more quality. Let's put the strut up here, make it safe. Okay, so 2 different engines, 3 different power outlet combinations. I'll explain. Titanium, we've established, entry-level car, only comes with a 1.5 litre EcoBoost. That's the Ford EcoBoost engine. It's a 4-cylinder engine. It's turbo-powered petrol. Develops around about 150 brake horsepower. Brilliant what it does on the tin. It does what it says on the tin. It goes from A to B, it's comfortable, and it does the job. Comes only with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Do bear that one in mind. Then we jump up, we've got the self-charging hybrid system. That gets a 2.5 litre Duratec engine. 4-cylinder petrol engine again, but that particular car will develop 180 brake horsepower because you've got a little bit of help from the battery. It's a hybrid, it's got that, it's built in. I know it's a self-charging hybrid, so you're getting the best of both worlds. But if you really want to go for it, then you go for the PHEV, that's the plug-in hybrid that we've got here today. Again, it's all going to depend on what you need, you know, how you're going to be using this car. Same 2.5 litre Duratec engine, but this, because it gets a bigger battery and a bit more bang for your buck with the acceleration terms, it suddenly jumps up to 243 brake horsepower, which is much, much better. It's going to give you higher speed, it's going to give you quicker acceleration. The only downfall with the 2.5 litre Duratec engines is they're both coupled up to a CVT gearbox. Well, I don't even call it a gearbox. The CVT is a continual virtual transmission. So a variable transmission, not virtual, continual variable transmission. And it will select up to infinite number of gears depending on the speed you're going or the speed you're decelerating. So it does it all for you, but it does have a tendency to whine a little bit. It makes a bit of noise and sometimes takes a little bit longer to get there. But nevertheless, the CVT in these particular cars is very, very good indeed. But one of the best things of all, with your PHEV, the setup that you've got here will give you up to 40 miles of all-electric range. So if you are buzzing around town or you're taking the kids to school or going down the shops or taking the dogs for a walk, this could be the one, because you pop home, you plug it in, 7.2 kilowatt plug-in, within 3 hours, 3.5 hours, it's fully charged again. So I think, you know, I go back to what I say, it's all going to depend what you go for as to which engine choice and maybe, you know, which setup that you're going to choose.
Entry-level Ford Kuga titaniums will give you a decent bang for your buck when it comes to kit. All cars are fitted with 17-inch alloys that come with all year round tyres. At the front, you get a decent set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. There's front and rear parking sensors to help you manoeuvre and park the car even in the tightest of spaces. There's LED rear lights, a set of slick roof rails, a big rear spoiler and all-round rear privacy glass. And finally, there's some decent heated foldy-in mirrors. Inside, entry-level cars get keyless entry and keyless ignition using the stop-start button on the dash next to the left of the steering wheel. There's a rear view camera for parking and manoeuvring, plus a really nice central TFT touchscreen that incorporates Bluetooth connectivity, a DAB radio, Android mirroring and not forgetting Apple Play. There's digital electronic temperature control as well, which is quite cool. Plus, the driver gets a 12.3-inch full digital cluster. The car comes standard with cloth seat trim and an 8-way manually adjusted driver's seat with lumbar support. In the second row for the passengers, there's slidey seats in the back and the car gets all-round power front and rear windows with global closing. The front windscreen has a heated quick clean system built in, which is very handy for defrosting in the winter months. Kugas also get cruise control, a speed limiter, pre-collision assist and autonomous emergency braking, as well as lane keeping and lane departure warning system.
I do like the back of this car. I think it's got a really nice sporty look to it. It's very aerodynamic. I love this big rear screen. It's what I call a floaty screen, so it doesn't have any rubbers around here. It just sits in its own space, which saves any water getting trapped in here, you know, starting to rot over a period of time or whatever. And it also allows the water to drain off really nicely. You get a rear wash and wipe, just in case. You've got the spoiler over the top here. There's a brake light built in there as well. That all comes as part of it. You can see all the arrows. It runs around the side here. You get LED rear lights. I mentioned that. There's clusters here at the back, really lovely. You've got your big DAB aerial on the top there as well. All kind of matches, which I think is really nice. You've got those lovely roof bars on this car as well. Big chunky bumper at the back, reverse beepers built in there. But all in, I think the car has got a really nice presence about it. Let's take a look inside. Don't forget, this car is one of the top of the range cars, so it gets an electronically assisted tail lift. Your entry-level car doesn't. It's just a manual tail lift. But nonetheless, it's nice to have. There you go. Good height on this car. You will get under here if it's pouring with rain. It's somewhere just to shelter when you're putting stuff in and out as well. I would have liked to have seen a couple of little lights here. Be really handy at night just to light this area up. But hey ho, it's not there. And at the end of the day, massive boot space. It's not the biggest in its class. It's just shy of 500 litres. You're definitely going to get at least 2 large suitcases and 2 carry-on cases in here, or you will easily get 4 carry-on cases, you know, the smaller ones. 2 sets of golf clubs. I've tested it. It does work with 2 sets of golf clubs and a trolley, by the way. Easy to put the seats down in here as well. You can pop them down. There's a handle there, pops the right-hand one down there, 60-40 split on the seats. There's another handle over there. Again, just pull it down, and it's really nice and flat. There's hardly any lip inside here at all. It's a nice height as well for loading, so you will get it. It's coming up just above my knee, if I'm honest with you. A little tip, guys, if you're lifting stuff in and out, you don't want to be scratching the back here, or dogs are jumping in and out, or you've got to put a pram or a pushchair in here, or a bike or something like that. Just cover the back end of this here with some sticky back plastic. You can buy it anywhere. It's dirt cheap. When it starts to wear out, peel it off and then put some new stuff on there, and also on the inside here, and it will just protect all those bits of plastic down the bottom there. But huge space in there, easy to slide stuff in and out, absolutely no problem at all. You definitely get a bike in there with the front wheel on, not a problem at all. Over to the side, you've got a 12-volt adapter. So again, family versatility. If you're out, you've got to pump up the bike tyres, or you've got one of those blow-up kayaks or something like that. Plug a pump in there, easy, just pump it up. Shopping bag holders, well, there's one over this side. I was hoping to find one over here. There is a little hook there, but I think that's for the parcel shelf. Now, the parcel shelf, it's not even worth talking about, really. It's one of those foldy up ones. I've just thrown it in the back here, to be honest with you. Not of any use whatsoever. We will talk about underneath here. I'm going to hold it up for a second. So there is, if you took the pannier out, there would be enough room for a spare wheel in here, a space saver. Do away with this stupid pump and latex stuff that the current manufacturers are giving you. Complete waste of time, and the latex absolutely ruins your tyre. Even if it does work, you're still going to have to buy a new tyre. So don't bother with it. Either buy run flats, which are very expensive, or invest in a space saver, which I'm pretty sure will go in here. As this is the plug-in hybrid, you get the electrical cables in here as well. It's all hidden underneath there, but I suppose with that rear parcel shelf thing, at least it gets thrown in the back there. Completely useless otherwise. But all in, practical, versatile, family friendly. Ford Kuga is nailing it, isn't it? I think when it comes to versatility with the Ford Kuga, you needn't look any further. This is versatility at its finest, because look how easy it is to get in and out of this car. Absolutely incredible. The door rake is right back. It's really good indeed. If you're going to try and put a baby seat in, you know, kiddie seat in here, it's perfect. Look, you just reach in. There's no isofix covers. There's just the points there with plug and play, I call it. You just literally plug them straight in there. It's so simple. And this opening here is massive. So if you've got elderly or infirm, you know, older people that you're trying to get mum and dad, granny and granddad, they're going to get in and out of it easily. One more thing I want to show you. The seats in this car, look, you've got a little lever here. So you can actually push them back to give you even more of a comfortable, let's see what it's like. Hang on, let's jump in here, because this is all too good to be true. I mean, seriously? Look at the space in here. Yeah, hang on, I'm going to put my headrest up, because you get a nice little headrest in here as well. Now look at this, check it out. How lovely. Look, my feet are right under there. That's my normal driving position. Look at the knees, look at the width, look at the height in this car. It's just incredible. Let me pull the door to. It's another thing I love about this car as well. If you look at the size of this window, you get privacy glass, even on your entry-level car. So you've got the privacy glass, but look at the size of the window. If you suffer from car sickness, this is perfect, because that window is massive. So you're going to get a full view out. I mean, I am literally almost, I could go to sleep in the back here. It's so comfortable as well. It's really nicely finished off. You've got a pouch here for putting bits and pieces in. You can see straight through as well, which makes life very, very easy. It's a couple of little bits and pieces I will point out. There's no independent heating control. You've got independent air, so you can actually turn the air on and off, but that's it. You can't, you know, adjust it accordingly. But I wasn't really expecting that with this car. But it's just a little niggly bit. I'd like to be able to change the temperature in the back here without having to rely on the passenger or the driver. Below that, though, you've got 2 USB-Cs down there for charging your bits and pieces. And I said, you know, when you get out in this car, And I will say it's just perfect for young kids, young families. They can plug their phones in there or their iPads or whatever they need, charge up, and it's just keeps them quiet. It's so good. I love it. In the centre here, definitely get a larger child or a small adult in the middle here. So you've got three across. You've got this nice centre armrest as well, double cup holder, nice deep one as well. I always look for these to be the nice deep ones, because if you've got a hot cup of coffee in here and you've pushed it in there, and then the car unexpectedly has to brake very suddenly, your coffee's not going to go flying in the front there if it's got a certain amount of support in here. I know it sounds a bit petty, but I can hear you, AJ, come on. But it is serious, because if you've got a hot cup of coffee and that goes flying forward, that's going to hurt someone, really hurt someone. This, I can safely say, has a nice deep cup holder. It's going to hold your cup in there nice and tight. There you go. There's no ski hatch as such. You've got a 60-40 split in the seat here, but no ski hatch for putting long items through. I would have liked to have seen that, because this kind of car, you are going to use it on the weekends to go down to your hardware store, the DIY store, get long lengths of stuff. I mean, you'll get it in over the top, but it would have been nice to have had that sort of split in the middle here that you could put stuff through. Or even if you were a skier and you were going away for the weekend, could be the ideal car. But sadly, that's not going to happen. Recessed seat belts, and I've mentioned the Isofix points are not those horrible plasticky poppy outy things that you get just plug and play. But generally the finish, the actual quality of this car, sitting in the back here, it's outrageously good. I am so absolutely thrilled to bits that I love this car. So we're out on the road in the Ford Kuga, and I've got to say, it's a really nice place to be. I was kind of, in a way, hoping that I wouldn't like this car for many reasons, but for some reason, I actually really like driving this car. It's super quiet. It's super comfortable. The seats are just incredible. On this particular model that we're driving, you've got the little extra bit that comes out under your knees. So when you're on a long distance drive, it is so nice. It just tucks in. I mean, you normally only get that on really premium cars, but it's super. Steering wise, it's so responsive as well. So's that engine, that 2.5 litre. This is the plug-in hybrid version, and it's got that little bit more brake horsepower. So you do feel it in this car. It's very good at accelerating. It's got a nice top speed on it. I'm loving all the controls as well. So easy to use. I've got to say, guys, this is a pretty remarkable car for the money. The only thing, I found one thing, is the braking and pulling away, the acceleration. It jolts. It's quite fierce. I think a lot of that is down to the hybrid system on this car. It's so good, really, really good. Now that hybrid system as well will give you some amazing economy. And trust me, I have driven this car properly, and it is done nothing but perform outrageously. When I read the spec on this car, and it actually said that you would get up to, early 60s to the gallon. Yes, I did say early 60s to the gallon. I was like, yeah, right, in your dreams. This car has been constantly performing between 57 and 62 to the gallon. It's ridiculous. Even now, I'm driving around these back roads doing the review, talking to you. This is not the most economical way of driving, because additionally, I'm driving this as a journalist would drive. We're testing the car, we're accelerating with it, we're decelerating. It's not the most economical way to drive a car. And I'm still getting over 52 to the gallon. I can't make it do any less. It's a 2.5 litre engine producing upper 50s, early 60s to the gallon. I need say no more. Charging this car, so easy. You can't charge it on one of those chargers in the filling station, where you go to get your gas, your petrol, whatever. It's too powerful. You can only charge it on a home charger, or one of the ones you plug into the wall, into the electric system at home. Takes around 3.5 hours to fully charge this car, and it will give you up to 40 miles of range, of pure electric range. I think it's a stunning car. If you're thinking that you're just going to be running the kids to school, taking the dog for a walk, popping down the shops, and then you come home and just stick it back on charge again, it's got to be the perfect answer, because you're going to run around on electric power all day long and it's going to cost you next to nothing just keeping it topped up. But that's the way that I would honestly, you know, keep this car. The self-charging is probably more where I would personally go, because I use the car for a lot of different reasons, and the self-charging hybrid I think would be more in my benefit. But as I said right at the beginning, you know, when we started the intro on this car depends on what you want to use it for. So at the end of the day, you know, you've got a vast choice of different setups that you can go for. And I've got to say, Ford have nailed it with this car. The practicality, the versatility of this car, the size in the back, you know, catering for the passengers. I've had the kids in the back, they've been totally comfortable, headphones on, didn't get a peep out of them for over 2.5 hours. That's a miracle in my books, an absolute miracle. But all in, the Ford Kuga, this latest 4th generation Ford Kuga, it's absolutely nailing it. You've got to give one a test drive. You have to. If you're in the market for a mid-size compact SUV, try the Ford Kuga, guys. So there you have it, guys, the Ford Kuga. What did I think of it? If you're in the market for a mid-size compact SUV, a family car with the options of all-electric, battery, self-charging, or you're just looking for a really good runabout car, Ford Kuga's got to be in your top 2 or 3 to go and test drive. Now don't forget, I can wax lyrical about these cars and say how good they are, but until you get behind the wheel of one of these and actually drive it, it's going to be down to the individual's choice. So I can say how good it is, but when you've driven it, you might disagree or you might totally agree with me. But at the end of the day, test drive is imperative. Get down to your Ford showroom and discuss all the options with them, all the different variables, all the add-ons and the extras, and what actually suits you. One thing I haven't mentioned so far is the Ford warranty. It's a decent warranty. It's 3 years or 60,000 miles all over cover. You've got 8 years or 100,000 miles on the battery. So if you've got a car like this, the plug-in hybrid or the self-charging hybrid, that battery is covered for 8 years or up to 100,000 miles. Also, with the 3 year or 60,000 mile basic warranty, you can extend that. Again, have a chat, because when you get down at the showroom, they'll explain you can extend that to 4 or 5 years up to 100,000 miles in total for the warranty. You get 3 years paint coverage and you'll get 12 years anti-perforation. So any little rusty bits that should appear, I doubt they're going to, but if they did, you're fully covered on that up to 12 years. But all in, what an experience. It's a great car. It's been fun to drive. It's a valuable family asset. That's the way I'll describe the new Ford Kuga. It looks good. It's got a bit of street cred about it. I've had a few people come over and ask me about it, but I think at the end of the day, it's personal choice, and you've got to get out and give one a test drive. Guys, thanks for watching me. You've been watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. Comment's important. There's a box down there. If you bought one of these and want to tell us about your experience, then stick a comment in the box down there. If I've missed something or misrepresented something, stick it in the box down there and we'll discuss it. You know, there's a whole host of different things we can talk about. Use the comment section. It's ultimately the best. Also, down there is a subscribe button. Now, you saw at the beginning, we don't just do car reviews. We love doing car reviews, but we don't just do car reviews. So if you want to subscribe and see what else we do, whatever pops along, leave the bell sign unchecked. You'll get regular updates. You get a little update to say that we've uploaded another video. It might be a car, it could be a boat, it could be a holiday, it could be anything, who knows. But on a regular basis, we do a lot of car reviews. So well worth keeping up, you know, up to scratch with us. One thing I'm going to ask you for, can you do me a favour? Give us a thumbs up to say that you like what we're doing, because we don't get a bonus, we don't get any extra pay, but what we do get is a pat on the back from the boss and the sponsors to say job well done. And it's not just me. There's a camera guy over there, there's a sound guy over there as well, waving at me going, don't turn the camera around. And there's also a full edit crew as well that do this. And none of us, as I say, get a bonus for a thumbs up. It's just you saying you like what we do, and therefore the boss knows it too. So I'd appreciate that. In return for that, I'm going to give you something for nothing, a completely free lunch. Yes, it is possible. Trust me, it is possible. It's called the Player Bookazine. Oh yeah, because we're not just a YouTube channel. We're a part of a much bigger organisation that produces on a regular basis a bookazine for a guy's lifestyle. I can't say for men only, because it's not for men only. Ladies, you're welcome to have a look at it as well, but it is geared around a guy's lifestyle. So it's called The Player. Hang on, I'm going to hold one up now so you can see it. That's a hardback bookazine. You can't actually have the hardback bookazine. They cost £100 UK each. Well, you can if you pay £100. But if you want the free version, which is exactly the same, no different whatsoever, but it's online, which is nice and easy. You just head over to www.theplayer.co.uk. There you go. Hang on a minute. Editor, can you bring it in here somewhere? And I'll leave it up there for a few seconds so you can memorise that. Head over there. I don't want to know your inside leg measure. I don't want to know how many kids you got, how many times you've been married. All I want to know is your email and your name. It's as simple as that. Fill that in, you can download it, you can look at it online, you can zoom in, you can turn the page. There are 220 pages of everything us guys love. There's cars, there's boats, there's motorcycles, there's quad bikes, there's holidays, there's golf, there's food, there's interviews. It's all in there and it's all yours for absolutely free of charge because you watch me on AJ the Player YouTube channel. So head over there, fill your boots guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our little review of the Ford Kuga this week. I'll catch you next week, hopefully with something equally as exciting and fun to drive. See you then guys. AJ signing out.